Hello, this is Tom Reynolds, CEO of Prospex Energy. The purpose of this video is to talk you through the history and ownership structure of the Viura asset. First, a bit of history. In 2009 to 2014, initial activity on the license took place. Seismic acquisition, early drilling and plant construction. Moving into 2015 to 2018, there was a long-term test and sidetrack drilling, and the concession was finally awarded by the Spanish government. In 2022, HEYCO acquired the asset. In the third quarter of 2024, Prospex acquired 7.5% of HEYCO Energy Iberia. Later in 2024, the Viura 1B well was completed and production resumed at the site. Moving into 2025, production was interrupted due to a downhole casing leak. As we moved through 2025, remedial action was taken to reinstate production, with production fully reinstated in Q4. During the course of the first quarter of 2026, calibration testing in parallel with dynamic reservoir modeling has been taking place by the operator. The intention of this work is to inform development scenarios for the next phase of investment. Where we are now, at the time of recording this video during Q3 2026, HEI are actively developing development scenarios in conjunction with modelling to support preparation of an updated CPR on the asset. Looking into Q4 2026, we expect preparation for further development to be taking place operated by HEI, leading up to development drilling targeting increased production in 2027. Turning to the ownership of the Viura concession. Viura is owned by two companies, HEYCO Energy Iberia, holding around 96.5%, and Oil and Gas Skills SA, a Spanish domiciled investment company, which owns around 3.5% of the Viura concession. Financial obligations, investment and cash flows are divided between HEI and Oil and Gas SA in proportion to this ownership split and managed in accordance with standard JV practices. Going forward in this video, I will only be referring to the treatment of the HEI share of obligations unless otherwise stated. Focusing on HEI ownership structure. HEI is owned by Class A shareholders and Class B shareholders, both classes holding 50% ownership rights. The right to invest and to receive distributions vary by share class and with the phase of investment. Breaking that down to the next level of detail, you can see that the B shares are held by HEYCO Energy Group, Prospex Energy, and a group of other investors. Prospex, through its wholly owned subsidiary PXOG Muirhill, owns 15% of the B shares, giving Prospex a 7.5% ownership position in HEI. B shareholders effectively act as the investing group and have the preferential right but not the obligation to invest in proportion to their B share ownership. Failure to participate in an investment round will result in that shareholding being diluted and future distributions reduced as a result. Following investment, when distributions are declared, B shares have the right to a preferential distribution until their cumulative investment is repaid in full, plus a 10% margin. This is referred to in the video as we go through it as the B share payback. After the B share payback, Dividends are paid pro rata across A shares and B shares. We'll go into that in more detail now. So the ownership phase that involves investment focuses on the B shareholders, who are provided the right, but not the obligation, to invest in proportion to their B shareholding in any capital program. So as we can see, B shareholders provide the capital to HEYCO Energy Iberia to execute CapEx. Once investment has been completed and HEI declares a dividend, distributions will be made preferentially to B shareholders in proportion to their B shareholding. This means that for Prospex, we will receive 15% of HEI distributable profits during this period until B share payback is achieved. Once B share payback has occurred, all shareholders participate in distributions. That after B share payback, Prospex will receive 7.5% of distributions from HEI and have the right to invest in any future capital calls to the extent they are not covered by asset cash flow at 15%. So in summary, HEI owns 96.5% of Viura. Prospex owns 7.5% of HEI through a holding of B shares. Until a dividend distribution is declared, net cash flow within HEI is retained to fund corporate costs and future CapEx. Prospex does not receive a share of Viura cash flows directly. Prospex has the right to invest, but not the obligation, at 15% of any further development CapEx. When a dividend is declared in future, which is expected to be after the drilling program currently being planned, initial preferential distribution to B shareholders will occur until B share payback. Prospex will receive 15% of HEI distributable profits arising from its ownership of the Viura field. Once B share payback has been achieved, dividends will be distributed to A and B shareholders, which means Prospex will receive 7.5% of HE distributable profits. Any investment post payback, Prospex will again have the right to invest at 15% to the extent it's not covered by corporate cash flow. Thank you very much for listening. More information can always be found at Prospex website, prospex.energy.